Hello, Jeremy Senpai here, and Disney managed to write the perfect spoiled character in Charlotte La Bouff, or Lotti. There is no doubt that Lotti is spoiled, but is far from spoiled rotten. When we think of a spoiled character, we think of extreme examples, like Veruca Salt or Angelica Pickles, who are spoiled rotten and are regarded as horrible characters. But Lotti is different in so many ways. One example of this is the setting. The Princess and the Frog is set in 1920s New Orleans, where racial segregation was very widespread and a social norm. And yet, Lotti, despite being the daughter of one of the wealthiest men in the city, she never treated Tiana as inferior. You can see their dynamic perfectly when they're both little girls, and Lotti doesn't demean or belittle Tiana. They're just two friends having fun together, something that no doubt continued well into their later life, as Tiana works long and difficult hours at two different jobs in order to save up for her own restaurant, as Lotti is shown to be a regular customer probably every day or every other day. But in order to understand Lotti better, I feel that we need to talk about her father, Eli. Being a white, wealthy man in the 1920s, it wouldn't be unheard of for a man like Eli to look down on Tiana and her family. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. Eli treated Eudora and Tiana with fairness, and was always welcoming of their friendship, with Eudora making all of Lottie's dresses since childhood, so she and James could make ends meet, and is even a regular customer for Tiana as well, so he and Lotti can give her business and a tip however they saw fit. Also, an interesting dynamic I realized is that Lotti is continuing the cycle of support with Tiana, just like how Eli did so with Eudora, by being regular customers and making sure that they both had reliable income for both of their livings. Further proof of this is during the events of the movie where Lotti and Eli have Tiana cater for the party, giving her enough money to open her restaurant. Lotti just takes the cash out of Eli's pocket, gives it to Tiana, and he doesn't say a word because it's Tiana. Another example is after Lotti dances with Prince Naveen. The second she sees Tiana on the floor, down and out, she gets out of princess mode and into best friend mode. She doesn't laugh at Tiana or make fun of her. No, she is fully concerned and drops everything for her best friend. She takes Tiana inside to clean her up. Also, a small detail here is Tiana's blue dress. If you notice, Lotti always wears pink, and yet she has a blue dress that is fit for Tiana. This tells me that Lotti most likely paid Eudora to make this dress for Tiana so she could give it to her at the appropriate time, most likely when she opens her restaurant. Granted, Lotti gave it to Tiana mostly because it was the only thing for her to wear that would fit her. I'm just assuming that Lotti was saving the dress for the restaurant. She could have been saving it for another occasion. Something to mention here is why don't Lotti or Eli just give the money to Tiana to open her restaurant? But Tiana, being the natural hard worker that she is, would never accept a handout. So, the two did the next best thing by eating at the restaurants that she works at, giving her business and tipping her. In fact, there's a popular fan theory that Eli was the one who bought the site Tiana wanted for her restaurant, not to give it to her, but to be business partners. So technically, it's not a handout, it's an investment. Being one of the richest men in New Orleans, I can definitely see Eli walking into the real estate office, dropping a couple of stacks of cash, and just buying the place then and there without any questions. Though I'm a little 50-50 on that idea. But the true test of character for Lotti comes at the end of the movie, where at first Naveen promises to marry Lotti on the condition that she pays for Tiana's restaurant. However, when Tiana tells Naveen that she loves him, Lotti backs out of the deal, happy for her best friend, and promises to change them both back with no conditions. Even though she was late to do it, this shows volumes to Lotti's character. I feel like it would have been easy for the filmmakers to pull a Han here and reveal that Lotti was the surprise villain at the end, wanting a prince for herself regardless of if he loved her or someone else. But no, Lotti is happy for her best friend and is putting her happiness before her own selfish wants. In fact, Tiana even said herself that Lotti does have all the makings of a princess, not only because of her social status and her position as the princess of Mardi Gras, but her personality too. The fact she'd help the both of them with no problems. In fact, even at the end of the movie, Lotti is shown dancing with Prince Naveen's little brother and taking it good-naturedly without any signs of bareness. Also, an added thing to mention is that in the movie's art book, Eli is shown giving Tiana away at her wedding, showing that Lotti and her father always considered Tiana's family to be their family, and never underneath them by any means. And with the new Tiana series coming out on Disney Plus, I'm hoping for a continuation of Lotti's story and her happily ever after. Oh, right. Honestly, I had hope for this. I would have loved seeing an episode where Lotti got to have her happy ending, or even a prequel showing how the two girls became friends. Like Lotti defending Tiana against some rich brat or something. And like the rest of the fans of this movie, I have hope for the future of The Princess and the Frog. But again, these are just my thoughts. If you have any to share, please share it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you heard today. And please, this is Jeremy Senpai, wishing you a good day.